Here we are, another phenomenal day to be alive. Happy Friday and welcome to Younger Life Live. I'm Rick Federici.
And I'm Mary Anthony.
All right, so I am so excited about the next double dose of the Epic Shopping Cart event right here in our backyard as we're going to help feed the homeless and do a whole bunch of really neat things. Mary Anthony, I'm really excited to be here too because you brought in like big plates of fruit. What's going on there? What's going on?
Well, you and I talked about, we knew we were going to be, it's going to be a packed full hour.
Mm-hmm.
And we're rotating in people from 5 separate organizations this hour. And so, you and I talked last week, thought it would be nice for them to have something to snack on. So I brought some apples and grapes in this morning on my way. So.
All right. We're going to start it off right away in style with a big smile.
Mm-hmm.
No stranger to WIMS, Girard Media, and Younger Life. Ed Marion, Catholic Charities. How are you today?
Morning, Rick. Morning, Mary. I am doing great.
It is a great day to be alive, and I'm loving. I so love that shirt brought to you by today's sponsor, of course, LaPorte Hospital. That is an avid LaPorte Hospital sponsored WIMS radio shirt, and Ed has it on.
He came ready to show. He came ready to show it off. I love it.
It's orange, so no one can miss me.
That's
I was
right.
gonna say, it matches Rick Federici's hair.
Oh,
Isn't that
listen to
great?
you. I love it. I've been so excited about today because as I was reading through these organizations, it's amazing to me the things that these organizations do already. So I'm interested to find out a little bit about, what role each one of these organizations will play in this, super important event.
Talk about this,
Sure.
please.
I actually represent 2 organizations. Catholic Charities, who I work for, we do a self-sufficiency workshop and financial assistance to keep people from becoming homeless, whether it's through foreclosure or eviction. Last year in LaPorte County, we assisted 154 families avoiding eviction.
Wow.
It's awesome.
So I also represent the Interfaith Community Men's Shelter. So from mid-October till mid-April, I coordinate a men's shelter in the basement of 5 different churches because we don't have a permanent shelter at this time in Michigan City for homeless men. So what we do is we rotate out of different church basements. It's completely run by volunteers, but we rely on donations to provide the supplies, not only food that we have to get, but mats and everything else.
Wow.
On this Epic Shopping Cart Parade, which is going to be held Saturday, September 17th, many organizations have grouped together, community pillars like yourself, Ed. What does the listener need to know about what's going on with this? Because this is so critical and so important to our backyard.
It is, absolutely.
The funds we raise go to the 10 organizations participating to help them with their mission, which is housing the homeless.
Yeah.
We're not looking at short-term, we're looking at long-term solutions. For the last 15 years, there's been an organization planning on long-term solutions to homelessness. It's called the Home Team. Every organization in LaPorte County that participates in it, we meet once a month, discuss what's going on. It was started by the Duneland Health Council and the Unity Foundation. And most of the organizations who are participating in the Homeward Bound Epic Shopping Cart Parade are longtime members. This used to be the Homeward Bound Walk. Catholic Charities and the Interfaith Community Men's Shelter have been participating since it started, which was like 12, 15 years ago.
That was my question. I was curious how long this has actually gone on. Obviously, it sounds like it continually grows. I mean, all these organizations and stuff. That's fantastic. So there's a very good response.
There is a good response. We used to do it in the first weekend of April, but the weather was too bad, so we switched to the last weekend in September. And now Lee Coburn, who is heading it up for us, now he's the one who turned it into an Epic Shopping Cart Parade, thought, well, maybe we do it a little earlier in September. And basically it marches from St. Paul's up Franklin Street to the library, back down Franklin Street and across. But last year it was a hoot, because people decorated shopping carts. Now they also have wagons, and families, they come all out.
See, this is what's really cool. Everybody makes a difference. People get together. It's a great day of family fun. And really people like join together, and it's such a great cause. I so totally love that. Ed Marion, of course, here in studio. Rick Federici, Mary Anthony, Younger Life Live. Today's edition brought to you by the LaPorte Hospital. I want to talk to you, if you wouldn't mind, for a moment about Catholic Charities, because what a great organization. You're a part of that. Can you kind of expand on that a little bit and educate our viewers and listeners about that, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah. The Diocese of Gary is the Roman Catholic Diocese, is 4 counties, Lake Porter, LaPorte, and Stark County. They came to Catholic Charities USA and said, we would like to serve the residents of these 4 counties with social services, and that's what Catholic Charities does. So we have all sorts of programs. We run a food pantry in East Chicago. There's a women's care center in Hammond. Here in Michigan City, we have a program that's based out of Michigan City called the Wheelchair Ramp Program. Tom Zawara runs it, and it's fantastic. They build wheelchair ramps for people who can't afford and are locked into their houses because of physical conditions. Tom also runs a vision screening process for all the grade schools in LaPorte County. He goes up into Berrien County also. And I don't have the stats with you, but there are quite a number of children who they didn't realize had vision problems. And the problem is if you don't catch it early, they just think, this is how everybody sees.
Yeah.
So
I remember that my own self. I got glasses in 2nd grade, and I've always been a great student, so I never struggled there to be an indicator to my parents that maybe I was having vision issues. And it was through a routine school screen that the school nurse said, I think you might need glasses. And when I remember vividly all these years later, the first time they put glasses on me,
Did you go, "Ah!"
how amazing. It was near a
That's
window
awesome.
was the table, and I could see the leaves on the trees. And I remember saying to my mom, I always knew there were leaves, because you see them on the ground.
Sure.
But in a tree, it just looked green. I
Right.
never could see the leaves. I remember that so clearly. I think that's a phenomenal program. I think that's great.
So that's some of what Catholic Charities does. I myself run a financial assistance program. So we write grants to get money to be able to pay up to 1 month's rent. But in order to get the assistance, they have to qualify financially. They have to be referred by the township trustee, and they have to attend a 4-hour self-sufficiency workshop, which we do, which is pretty basic budgeting. But there's things that people have never heard of. We talk about landlord-tenant law. We talk about credit repair. We talk about dealing with debt collectors. A lot of people don't realize there are federal laws that set rules that debt collectors have to follow. People don't know that. They think a landlord can lock them out if they're late with the rent, and that's absolutely not true under the Indiana laws. So that's what we deal with, to try to give people a step up, point them in the right direction to become self-sufficient.
Can we connect with you? Can you give us your
Yes.
number as well? And please
phone
mention your
number,
local business,
website,
whatever you'd
anything.
like.
Catholic Charities in Michigan City is area code 219-879-9312. Right now, we have gone through all our funding until October 1st because the trustees have been sending a lot of people to us because there's just a huge demand for assistance. And, there's a few people who are working the system, but I can tell you very honestly, most of the people who come to us are in desperate need.
Right.
So
We're definitely going to do a follow-up show with Ed. I'd love to expand
Honestly,
this.
each
Anything
one
you
of these
need.
organizations,
They're awesome.
There's so much. I was trying to look up online and read to research a little bit, and they're an entire show themselves, each one of them. It's fantastic. So
Thanks for what
Ed,
you do,
so
man.
much.
You're absolutely great. Thanks for being here today. Anything we can help you with here at Younger Life Live, and of course, WYMS, we appreciate it. And thanks for being a community pillar.
Great.
Big round of
Thank you
applause.
very
That's
much.
Marianne.
see you at the parade on September 17th.
You know it. All right. So it's Rick Federici, Mary Anthony. Today is an awesome day because we've got a whole bunch of great folks that are
So
joining
many,
us.
Yeah. So many. I just want to say, wait. There's so many great ones.
Coming up, we've got Candace Silvis, Kay Hill, Ed Seal, Claudette Harrison, of course, in studio right now. Hand up, and it's an epic shopping cart parade. It is so great to see you. How are you today?
I'm great, and thank you for inviting me. And things are really starting to move along with the Epic Shopping Cart Parade. Last year it was great. They had a lot of fun. The kids, they had adults, kids, they had all kinds of things for the kids, but they had entertainment for the adults too. And pies in the face. I don't know where
There you go.
That's
do
awesome.
that this year or not, but they have Captain Ed comes with his pirate ship and shoots candy out for the kids, and face painting, balloons, all kinds of fun things. And the decorating the shopping cart, they have from 9 to 11 to decorate the cart, and they don't have to furnish the cart. They just have to bring their own decorations.
That's a great point. That was something I wanted to ask to clarify too.
Sure.
So nobody needs to actually produce their own cart. They
Right.
will be there, but they just bring directions or decorations for them. Are there specific directions they need to follow in decorating? As far as is it a certain theme, or they can do whatever they want?
Whatever they want, as long as it's anything that the public can look at.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, as long as it's a good thing to have. And they can come in costume themselves.
How cute.
You
And,
see this is good
that's
stuff.
really
This is
neat.
awesome.
So it's really a fun thing for the whole family. And this year we've added that if they have little kids, they can bring along their own wagon, and they can pull the wagon with the little ones in it.
You know, it starts
That's so
with
cute.
families, grandparents, parents. No matter, how wise in years folks are or how young they are, start it out. Show your children, show your grandchildren about making a difference.
That's right, and
This
why
is a
it's
great
important.
example.
Sure I
is.
know. The first time we were in a big city area where our kids actually saw a homeless person, and that was disturbing to the kids, and
Oh, yes.
and it leads to a great conversation, because it's important to talk about this is a real issue. This can be children. It's very scary for them to acknowledge, but also important to know that as a community, that's why it's important that we do things that we can to support the groups that help out people
the
that find themselves in these
Some
situations.
of the homeless do participate in this also.
Really?
Yes. And
That's
some
moving.
of them, I don't know if they will this year or not, but last year some of them got up and talked about how they became homeless.
Aw.
Because it's not like some people think that people are just too lazy to work.
Certainly.
And there's all kinds of reasons. And a lot of people are just one paycheck away from becoming homeless.
That's an excellent point. I'm so
It is.
glad that you brought that up, because it truly is. Think about a family situation, and just even think about from the early 2000s to present, where I could just tell you friends or just people had been at jobs for 10, 20, 30 years, and
Yeah.
sorry, this is gone, or their insurance stuff changed, or
Right.
God forbid, a medical emergency in their family.
Certainly.
And it just happened, and you're
Well,
like, holy cow.
Even these floods that are going on, right now, Louisiana area and stuff. There was a statistic on a radio station I was listening to that said that so many of these homes were not in flood zones, not in actual flood zones, so
Right.
they didn't carry flood insurance because that's not mandatory.
Yes.
So this stuff primarily will be uncovered by insurance.
Right.
Well, I can't imagine how you recover from something like that, and try to make up for that loss without any help. I think that's just
And
it's
many
very
insurance
sad.
companies will not even give you flood insurance. They won't sell it to you if you're not in a floodplain.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So they can't even get it for that contingency.
Claudette, can you talk a little bit about A Hand Up, if you wouldn't mind? Explain to the Younger Life Live viewers and, of course, our WIMS radio audience and those streaming us a little bit about that particular organization and how we can help out.
Okay, well, A Hand Up has a house that was a 3-unit apartment house that we're rehabbing. It's a 100-year-old house, had a fire before we got it, and we're rehabbing it. We started out for just homeless women veterans.
Oh.
And we're still doing that, and they take priority, but we've decided to add other women as well. I volunteer 1 day a week at Keys to Hope, and I have seen come in through there homeless women who are not veterans. They're not abused or battered, so they don't qualify for Stepping Stone. They don't have kids, so they don't necessarily qualify for Sandcastle, although they have added 4 beds for single women there. But that's 4 beds for all of LaPorte County. That's all, 4 beds. And if they're full, then somebody has to wait until they're not full anymore. So there's such a need, so that we are expanding and including that. We have had this last year, the A.K. Smith Center, the construction class, has done the framing for the house. So finally we have it going. It was all gutted before then, but all volunteers. So that's going. And we also have in the garage, volunteers did all of this, a clothing closet for low income and homeless who have job interviews. So we also give them clothes for going to work after they get the job. This has helped a tremendous number of people through the volunteering at Keys to Hope and our clothing closet where they come there. We have given interview clothes to more than this last year, over 80 people.
That is phenomenal.
And that
Really,
is such an
seriously,
important
from the
thing
heart.
too, because it really changes the way a person feels
Agree.
about themselves when they can feel like they are appropriately dressed for something.
You
It
know,
definitely
if
changes
you look
who
good,
they
you
are.
feel good. If you
It's
feel
so
good, you
true.
are good.
Right.
Straight up.
Right.
It's definitely true, and I feel like especially when they're at a time where they're a little down and out, they need any little boost they can get, and I think
Right.
that's so important.
And we have had people apply for a maintenance job that wore a suit for the interview. They looked so good, and they got the job.
Yeah.
Great.
That's fantastic.
That's what it's all about. You know what? We were getting text messages while you were speaking. People want to know, as you mentioned, ways you help out, how they can help out.
Yes.
Do you need donation of clothes, money, help with the home? We are here for you as a vehicle, so let's get it out there.
Okay. First of all, we need money to buy supplies. That's the number one. Okay. Number two, right now, we could use some experienced either contractors or laborers who would work under our contractor. We have a few things that AK Smith was not able to finish because of their time constraints. And right now we need a couple of windows installed. We need some other things to finish up there before we can get the siding on one side where the fire had melted it. So it looks really bad, but we need that done first. So we're in desperate need of somebody that is a skilled carpenter.
What would be a number or a contact, information contact for these folks? Because we will get calls,
That's
we
it.
will
I
get
wanna-
emails, we will get text messages.
219-898-5743. That's 219-898-5743.
Here's the final question of the day. Are you dressing up crazy at this epic shopping cart parade? Are you going to be all dolled up in a costume, or are you just gonna? What are you doing?
Well, I hadn't thought about that, but in the donations of clothes, which we have quite a few clothes, although
Sure.
we still need more men's clothes,
Okay.
especially larger and smaller sizes. But among those things, there are some things not suitable for job interviews.
Sure.
I will find something in that, and I will dress up crazy because I did for our Mad Hatter party. I dressed up
That's
crazy.
There you go.
fabulous. I have a quick
Awesome.
question about the
Sure,
clothes
sure.
donations.
Okay.
Are you asking for clothes donations that are only suitable for primarily?
Actually, I take all kinds.
Okay.
Because I take them to Keys to Hope, and the guys there, more guys than women, although women too, they wear everyday clothes. They wear
Good.
jeans. And,
Well, I was just
Yeah.
curious, just to make
It's a great
sure.
question.
A
Thank
lot
you.
of times we do when my husband and I are cleaning out closets and
Right.
stuff, which we have 5 kids, so we clean out closets like twice
Right.
a year. Take things to, of course, Goodwill, and there's a homeless shelter in South Bend area. But I think this is much more local, and if I know we're able to bring men's, women's clothes,
And they're going to be used.
and they're
Yes.
going to be
They're gonna
used,
be
I just wanted to
used.
make
Yes.
sure that's okay.
Great.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic.
All right.
Great.
Well, it's
Thank you
awesome
so
to see
much.
you. Thank you so
Nice
much
to
for your
meet you.
time. You are wonderful. We'll see you again very soon.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for all that you do. Excellent job.
Thank you for having me.
You got it.
Thank
All
you.
right. So Rick Federici, Mary Anthony, we're doing 5 great organizations, a 2-part series.
See,
and
honestly,
this is so
don't you
great.
see?
I love
Could we
this.
literally do an entire hour with each one of these?
Absolutely
the
great.
things that they do and the services that they provide for our community are
Mm-hmm.
just amazing, and also not talked about often enough. I've never heard of most of these, and
That's great. This
That's
is a
what I
great
mean. I was
refresher.
so fascinated by.
And on the
learning
radio
more.
side of life, WIMS here locally, we work with a lot of these great organizations. And Younger Life Live, thank you to LaPorte Hospital for donating not only 1 hour, but 2 for this. Let's talk to our next guest in studio about the Epic Shopping Cart Parade coming up the 17th. Candace Silvas, Salvation Army award winning. What is going on? Great to see you. How are you?
Morning.
I'm good. How are you?
I just read a press release, and Mary and I were chatting
Yeah.
about you from Ivy Tech. You just picked up an award. I want to start there because
Let's, please.
This is a great reason why a young woman, a professional right here in our midst, who works with great organizations like the one she's going to speak about, wins awards. So let's talk about that. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Well, and actually, that's kind of why I work with great organizations that I do. It's because of these types of organizations that I am where I am today. So it's actually my honor to contribute and give back to them.
So how did that all come about? So you were downstate Indianapolis, Ivy Tech Community College. You got the award, and explain the award to our viewers here at Younger Life Live, Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, and our WIMS crew, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, I was nominated for Alumni of the Year for the Northwest.
Yeah.
Thanks to Tony Thomas and Francis Vega. They both nominated me, and I am humbled to have won because there's a lot of great Ivy Tech alumni out there. And so then we went to an award ceremony with all 14 alumni for the year. And we were all honored and recognized, and it was kind of embarrassing, but it was fun. It was fun. And then they did 2 awards for the state, one personal achievement and one professional achievement. I received the personal achievement award, which is great. And when I gave my
fantastic.
acceptance speech, I told him, I said, as a teenage mother, I had my son when I was 16 years old. I shouldn't be where I am. I should not have been standing there, but it was thanks to Ivy Tech and the support they provided me that I am where I am today. So it's been
Rock
very
on, Mom.
humbling.
Rock on, young professional. And
you.
we segue into what you're going to be speaking about today, the Salvation Army here on Younger Life. Can you chat a little bit about the groove with the Salvation Army and also with the
Kind of
Epic
what their role.
Shopping
Yeah,
Cart
that's what I'm
event?
curious.
Oh, of course I can talk about the Salvation Army. We do a lot of things in our community. We do food pantry a couple times a week, which our food pantry, I don't know if you've seen our Facebook page, is in dire need of donations. We're empty. We've had to close down our food pantry this week, which is devastating. We've recruited reinforcements from the community. We've had lots of donations this week. This week's been kind of crazy because, of course, our doors were shut because we didn't have food pantry. So we've been out soliciting donations. Indiana State Prison has stepped up with their donations for their vegetables from their garden. They grow it for the food pantries in the area. So we've been actively recruiting and trying to get that. We're trying to hold on to the Stuff a Bus event on September 10th with First Trust Credit Union. And we'll see you out there, of course. But we are in desperate need of food right now.
Okay, so this is
I'm
critical.
going to write that down. Just
Yeah,
'cause I think it's
and
important
we need to do something before then because you're several weeks out right now.
Yes.
What can we do as an organization, as a radio TV show, as Gerard Media? What do you need from us? Because we need food. What do you
Any kind of
suggest?
food. Any
kind
Talk
of
about
food,
it.
any non-perishable food item. We can even take perishable food items. We have lots of freezers, lots of fridges. You can bring those items to 1201 South Franklin Street. We have somebody there from 9 to 3, Monday through Friday. The doors close at noon on Friday, but if they call 874-6885, extension 224, I'm there during the day, and I would be happy to meet them and accept their donation.
Could you give that number once more? I'm writing it down.
874-6885, extension 224.
This is critical, and I did not know this until you're here live
I
on
think I've
Younger
got
Life.
a great show plan.
Okay.
But it will not for today.
Do you know
but
what? No, I want to
honestly.
throw this out there. I think what we should do is I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
We think the same.
Yeah.
Sanders just told me too. I could see what he's saying to me. Let's do a live show.
Let's do a live show here and do a food pantry.
Yeah.
I mean, a food donation.
drive or something.
Yep, food drive and be able to take it. And
We have to talk
it's
to you
for a great
about that.
cause. So yeah,
I'm
we'll talk
always
about that
available
after.
for you guys.
Look at her. Woo!
Always. Woo. And then and then of course monetary donations. You know, we can make a dollar go farther than anybody else can as a not-for-profit agency with the food bank and things like that nature. So monetary donations and food donations, we're in dire need of those right now.
You know, when we do these events, she's talking about Stuff of Us. We're going to be out there with First Trust Credit Union. We're out there for 3 hours, and it's always beautiful to see folks come in and they buy organized bags or vouchers for meat and different things.
Yes.
But I have to tell you, that feeds a small portion of people, and it's awesome that people do it because we do it at all the different Al stores and different
That's
areas
what I love.
throughout the year.
I love that.
But you guys feed a ton of people. Let's talk about this because this stat is startling. You got to hear
is.
this.
Oh, we do. We feed about 600 families a month, and that's families. It's not individuals. And some of these families
crazy.
are
A
just
month.
a single individual in the family. Some of these families have 8 people in the family. So it's roughly approximately 2,000 individuals a month.
Wow, we're a family of 7, so I know, and I
Yes.
know what our grocery bill.
Well, and it's
Thank
crazy
you.
for us too, and that's what I'm
just-
saying. We're a family
that's
of 4, and we try to cut and we try to, eat wise, for lack of a better
Yeah.
word. And it just, we know, all of us in this room, how expensive it is, and obviously
Certainly.
being a young mom and
Yes, I
trying
have
to
a
keep up.
17-year-old boy. I
Right.
mean, he eats enough.
Oh,
for
he
all
eats
of
for
us in
3.
one
Yes.
day.
Honestly, there you
So,
go.
yeah.
He's
All you got to
great.
do is throw out young boy at 17.
Yeah,
He's
and
eating
he's
3
a
meals.
runner too. So
Oh
very
goodness,
active.
he's constantly refueling.
Yes.
He has no choice.
A whole box of spaghetti just
Yeah.
for
There you
him.
go,
Yeah.
starved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Let's spin the hat a little bit. How the Salvation Army obviously is working with the Epic Shopping Cart Parade. Let's talk about the synergies there and maybe some of the things
Yes,
you want
I
to
was
throw
going
out.
to say the reason we're here today is actually for our homeless shelter. The Michigan City Salvation Army runs the homeless shelter 6 months a year in the summer months, and then the Catholic Charities and other organizations pick it up in the winter. But we have approximately 20 men in our building every night for 6 months. We feed them, get them showered, assist them with any of their issues they're having. We partnered with Keys to Hope. They're the day center. We've now required all of our men to register with Keys to Hope before they can stay with us. And with these wraparound services, we're able to try and get these men everything they need and transition them from homelessness into stable housing, stable, sustainable housing. Currently, we have about 3 of our men who have all gotten together, and they're all going to get an apartment together.
Aw.
So stories like that are very important, and of course, we need those funds to help support that and sustain that, which is why we're participating, and we've been invited to participate in the Homeward Bound shopping cart race this year. We've got 2 new lieutenants, in case anybody was unaware. Lieutenant Bill and Taylor left us. They traveled along to the Great Croc Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
It's awesome for them.
It was
Seriously.
huge. I'm really excited for them. I
Happy
still
for
follow their
them.
exploits along on Facebook. But now we have Lieutenant Johnny and Carrie Barch here in Michigan City, who are wonderful people. They're very much looking forward to the Stuff a Bus event. I told them it's one of my favorite events because it's like a big party.
It's awesome.
I'm normally at Franklin Street with Rick, and so it's like very intense.
party.
9 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. You know.
It's fantastic.
And then the shopping cart race, they're very much looking forward to that. We have a youth group that we work with. We do Tuesday night youth sessions. We feed them, feed their families, teach them music, character building, tutoring. So we are getting them involved in the shopping cart race, and they're very much looking forward to
It's
that.
perfect.
You know,
It
one of the
is.
things I want to throw out there, and you know this as well, it's cool because Norma will join us, our children join us, the ROTC,
Yes.
the children from the high schools, family community pillars. Families get together and come out. We stuff the bags together. We get people roused up. We put the bags on the bus, and then there's a line of people that throughout the day, then they take all the bags that they get at the end of the day, and there's a human line, and it goes
so
down.
neat.
It's a really awesome,
It
good,
is.
heartfelt event. It
Yeah.
really is. It makes a difference in our
It
community.
is.
you know
I
what
mean,
I'm
and
saying?
just we see a lot of youth out there that day, which is really awesome.
So
to
important.
me.
Yeah.
Because my children are probably not going to be touched by the same issues that I was when I was younger. So it's nice to get them to see just a little bit of help can go such a long way, and it is so important to give back.
And it's all of our job.
It
it's
is.
it's all a part of who we are. Being part of a community means helping
Exactly.
out. So
All right, so I'm going to throw this out there again. Another hour show. We're going to donate to
I
this
know.
cause. We're going to talk to you. This is why I love this. Thank you so much, Candace.
Thank you.
Congrats,
You're welcome, Rick.
and we will see you, and we
Thank
will chat
you.
with you over the next handful of days.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Younger Life Live. Rick Federici, Mary Anthony. Are you loving it or what?
I
young one?
am. I'm
Huh?
telling you. I feel like wait. I keep wanting to talk to every one of these people.
This is
longer.
why this is great. And I want folks to know,
it's
if you're just
fantastic.
joining us, we have a 2-part series donating the time courtesy of our Younger Life Live sponsor and broadcast partner, TV sponsor, LaPorte Hospital. We do this each and every weekday between 9 and 10. Let's welcome in our next guest, Kay Hill from Stepping Stone, another great community pillar right here in the Younger Life Live WIMS studios. How are you today?
I'm fine,
Look
thank
at
you.
you.
I'm so
Hey.
excited to be here
I
this
love
morning.
you.
Oh.
I love you all.
Listen, this is so great. You always have great energy. Let's talk a little bit about yourself, Kay, if you wouldn't mind. Tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about yourself and your
And
organization.
Stepping Stone. Yeah.
Oh, well, my name's Kay Hill, legally Cassandra Hill, so I have to tell people that sometimes. I go, please. I'm like, no, it's really Cassandra. But everyone knows me as Kay Hill. I'm the executive director for Stepping Stone Shelter for Women, which is located here in Michigan City, Indiana. But I have some misconceptions I'd like to clear up today. Although the name may be for women, we service men as well.
Oh, really?
So all our services are available to men as well. And just because we're located in Michigan City, we service all of LaPorte County, Indiana. So those
Fantastic.
are 2 things I really wanted to clear up this morning to let everyone know. We're for the entire county of LaPorte County, and all our services are free of charge. We're the domestic violence. Oh, since I've cleared those 2 up now. We're the domestic violence and sexual assault advocacy agency. We have an emergency shelter and a transitional housing program. When the survivor, we like to say survivor, we don't want to say victim because we want to give the power back to
That's
the
right.
person.
Exactly.
So when the survivor contacts us either by police or hospital or walk or call or website, there's an intake process. We have an emergency shelter where the person can stay for 30 to 45 days.
Wow.
And the men can stay at the shelter as well. So we've been surprised. And we've actually had some men to come and stay there. And we actually have men who've come with their children as well. So, and all our services free of charge. Like I said, there's case management, 3 meals, 2 snacks. You have classes that assist you with budgeting, locating resources that are available to you, and working along with the other partners who are in this Homeward Bound walk, so that we can provide proper wraparound services, so that we're not duplicating services and we're giving them the most effective services possible. At our transitional housing program, we have 15 apartments fully furnished.
Wow.
That's incredible.
It is.
15. Yeah, I know. When you go up to the area, and I do this when I'm showing a diagram of how it's laid out.
And they're seeing you on camera right now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Go, Cassandra.
When you go up the driveway, it looks so small. And when people are actually in the building and they look out and they see the 15 apartments in the back, they're just like amazed. Those apartments are fully furnished via donations.
That's so nice.
The community, LaPorte County is very, I love this county. I love the people in LaPorte County. They are so giving and their hearts are so big. So those clients also receive same services they would at the shelter. And another thing, please let me inform everyone, you do not have to be a residential client to receive services at Stepping Stone.
That's a great
excellent point. Really is.
It is.
Right. We have so many people who feel as though, I don't want to go to the shelter. I don't want to go through that. We will actually come out to you. Wow. We have gone out into the communities and boutiques. I met someone at a grocery store once before. Just say, it has to be a safe environment.
Absolutely.
We offer sexual assault and domestic violence support groups, one-on-one. We will help you with obtaining a protective order, a restraining order. We'll go with you to court, doctor's appointments, everything. And you do not have to be a residential client.
It's incredible. It's incredible because I feel like, especially someone that might find themselves in that situation, it's overwhelming, all the things that you need to tackle. So I feel like someone may not know where to turn, but if they call you guys or start there, you guys open all these other doors for them and at least help guide them through that. I think not only are they going through all this emotional stuff, but then to just feel lost and not know where to go next, or where to, go for job interviews or look for an apartment, or who can help with that. I think that's amazing that you guys do that. It's so important.
I want to throw this out there too, Cassandra, and I would like for you to expand on this here on Younger Life. Okay, thank you. When you look at this, there's somebody listening right now or somebody viewing that might be in that situation where they're afraid, they're scared. They're like this, I don't know how to do. What would you say to them? I don't know what to do first. Can you help me? Can you throw that side of it out there? Because someone taking the first step really will help.
And it's a very frightening situation. So many times you'll hear people say, well, why didn't she just leave? That fear. There is a lot of fear and emotional distress that goes on with DV and sexual assault, that it's not fair for people to say, well, why doesn't she just leave? It's not that easy. People think it's just, you get up and you leave and you walk out. Sometimes you can do, and sometimes you can't do that. We will help you develop a safety plan. Just give us a call, 219. I'm
going to write this down.
879-4615. We have staff who are trained. And our staff have been there for years. I mean, years. Nice. We have a dedicated staff. So we are trained to assist you with developing a safety plan as well. And it can be, and a lot of people, don't be embarrassed.
Agree.
It happens so much and people they don't want to talk about this issue because they're ashamed. And how did I get myself into this situation, or whatever the cause may be? Reach out to us, allow us to help you. That is why we're here, confidential, and we will assist you all that we can. And as I said, we have the other agencies that we are partnering with who can also help out. That wraparound service is very imperative, and safety.
Guiding, and I'm thinking this is when you hear Kay speak so eloquently, by the way, it's the guiding, it's the being there, it's lending that helping hand.
Yeah, and especially someone that has been beat down, maybe not just physically but mentally, it's so you just don't know what else to do, who you can turn to. I think it's so important. Make at least this phone call to get the ball rolling. How long has Stepping Stone been around?
Since 1983.
Really?
Nice.
Yes, a lot of
way
people
to go.
I didn't. So yeah,
you have this free service available in the county, and we will come out to agencies to do in-services and training to staff.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So last year we had a event at Blue Chip to Live Without Violence. We're planning to have that again next year.
Oh, fantastic.
Where we had the juvenile justice system came out in big force, and other agencies came out as well. And we'd like to invite more human resource people to come out, and so they will know the signs. and also more educators as well. Because I was just talking with a prosecutor about this last night. When you have a child that's acting out, sometimes you want to label that child so much, but you need to find out what's going on at
What's
home.
going
Absolutely.
on behind the scenes?
Behind the
Yes.
scenes, and that acting out may not be ADHD.
That's it.
It may be the trauma that's occurring at home.
And they don't know how to talk about it either.
Exactly. So they act out, and then they're labeled this child, and they're really not. They just need assistance and some help.
Yeah.
So we like to train more people in the community, and we really want to get out into the workforce and just train all human resources people
fantastic.
available to let them know, okay, well, when you see this, assist your client. And during the Christmas season, I got so many phone calls on my personal cell saying, I have a friend who's in need. And I, you know, and I love that. And they're like, oh, I don't mean to bother you. I'm like, please bother me.
No, right.
Please bother me.
That's what you do.
So we just want to teach everyone and get everyone educated to know signs, symptoms, and abuse is not just physical.
Right.
So you may not see a scar, like you said, emotional, financial.
Sometimes just as bad, if not worse,
Religion.
depending
Yeah.
upon where you're at.
Yeah.
Volunteers, people donating time, helping you out. You've mentioned that a handful of times. How can we help? Because we're going to get emails and calls. How can we help out this particular group? Do you want to throw that out there? Do you guys have classes for folks, or ways that folks can connect with you to help you volunteer or whatever?
Yes, we're actually on Facebook. It's Stepping Stone Shelter. If you look us up on Facebook, please like us. We have a website, www.steppingstoneshelter.org, and it has several links on there where you can send us an email and we can get in contact with you about volunteering, donating, and all like that.
This is absolutely phenomenal. Your time is so appreciated. And again, this is
you.
another
You're
one.
awesome,
4
Kay.
for 4. We could
Honestly.
easily do an hour on
You're
this.
awesome. It's
So-
amazing. I think that the community, we're so lucky to have you there, I think.
Thank
so.
you.
Keep up that
Thank
great
you.
positive energy. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So much
for
for
being
joining
here.
us.
Thank you so much to Cahill Stepping Stone. Here's that number again for Kay.
yeah.
219-879-4615. Is that
Yes.
correct? Awesome. We'll throw that up
We'll
on Facebook
see you at
as
the
well.
shopping cart event then.
Yes, you will. Thank you.
Keep up the great work. All right, so it's Rick Frederici and Mary Anthony. It's 4 of 5, and we're killing it today. This is absolutely great. Thanks so much to Ed Marion from Catholic Charities, Claudette Harrison from A Hand Up, Candace Silvas from the Salvation Army. We just heard from Cahill from Stepping Stone. This is what Younger Life Live is all about. We're doing a 2-part series here with Rick and Mary. Thank you to the LaPorte Hospital for another great edition. We're going to have another group of 5 coming up, of course, Friday, September 9th,
That's right.
which will be absolutely
That's right.
great.
And
So
thanks
looking
also
forward
to Lee
that.
Coburn for putting the schedule together.
CEO with the Swanson Center. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well,
It's Friday, and a
yeah.
beautiful Friday at that.
Great.
So.
So it's so great to have you here in studio. All these great organizations. We are talking too about the tie-in to the Epic Shopping Cart Parade, which will be happening Saturday, September 17th. So Ed, tell us a little bit, obviously, about yourself. Swanson Center, a great partner of our community and of course, the radio station here. Let's talk a little bit about yourself and then the Swanson Center, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, I actually serve a bit of a dual role. I'm the coordinator for the Swanson Center PATH program, which is Project for the Assistance in the Transition from Homelessness.
Wow.
There will be a pop quiz later.
I was just going to say, I like that one.
And then I'm also the coordinator for the home team of LaPorte County. So that's where I get more involved with the Homeward Bound Epic Shopping Cart Parade.
Sure. Let's start there. Talk
Yeah.
about that particular one, the one you just had mentioned, for our viewers and listeners out there. Kind of educate them on that a little bit, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay, the home team of LaPorte County is part of the Continuum of Care for HUD. We're the regional planning body for LaPorte County. And they started in 2004 and had met monthly, all of the organizations that participate, to discuss what they're doing and what's moving in the area of homelessness and poverty. And when the Swanson Center received funding for the PATH program, it included a full-time case manager and a part-time coordinator. And so the home team never had this coordinator position, and they never had a staff member. So they worked with the Swanson Center and some great funders. We have Unity, Duneland Health Council, IU Health LaPorte, and St. Anthony Franciscan Healthcare.
Sure.
All partnered and cobbled together some money to add this part-time coordinator position. So I'm really a new addition to the home
Yeah.
team and just trying to move some of the agenda forward. LaPorte County has the 10-year plan to end homelessness, so I'm trying to.
That would be
Fantastic.
beautiful if we could do that, quite honestly. And
Oh, I
by the way, welcome aboard to this new position
Yeah,
because this is
it's
great. Young
fantastic.
blood, some vision. What's the vision there? What would be, we definitely want to end homelessness. Do you think we can get and attain that goal, Ed, in 10 years? Do you think we can do that?
Yeah, I think it's possible. There's a lot of work to be done. Right now, what we're focusing on is an employer resource network. We're kind of looking at how do we limit poverty, because of course that's one of the leading causes of homelessness. So we're working to explore the idea of starting an employer resource network here in LaPorte County. It's a concept that was developed in Michigan. There's maybe 13 employer resource networks in Michigan. One in St. Joe County over in South Bend. They're in Ohio, Wisconsin. So they're New York. So it's a growing concept. It is really an advantage because it keeps people employed. It looks at overcoming the barriers to, once they get a job, they work for a couple of months and then something happens, car breaks down, need some child care, and then they can't keep that employment. So this provides some high-touch case management that helps them overcome those barriers and stay employed. And it's really a benefit to the companies. There will be a company buy-in. It's usually 6 to 8 companies, small to mid-sized businesses that have limited HR resources. And of course, employee turnover is very costly. So if we can keep employees employed and train them, it saves them a lot of money. The return on investment for companies is great. It's like 150 to 300% ROI.
Wow. Wow. Definitely helps them out. And for the person, the employee, I mean, how amazing to have that individualized help, not just we offer these things, period. It's so individualized. This is my issue. I need help directly with this right now, whether it is childcare, car issues. Everybody runs into those hurdles. And some people don't have or don't know where they can turn to for help. So it's amazing that you guys are able to offer that. And I mean, growing concept, it sounds like it. You named off a handful of states. That's all over. And obviously this is proving to work. This is amazing. I think it's something people don't know enough about. Before we started talking about this specific event, the shopping cart parade, before we started talking about that here, and I started looking at these different organizations, I didn't know we had so many of these amazing organizations right here for help. I think it's amazing.
That's why I love it.
It's
It's 10
amazing.
great organizations, 5 this week, 5 on the 9th
That's right.
of September. You could also watch this on youtube.com, scope it out again, get the audio feeds as well. Let's shift hats a little bit, Ed, if you wouldn't mind, because Swanson Center has been around for many, many years, helping a ton of great people on a lot of levels. Would you like to explain to the WIMS audience and to the Younger Life Live TV audience a little bit about the Swanson Center and what they do in our great community, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, the Swanson Center is a comprehensive community mental health center. So they offer all sorts of community mental health treatment, from psychiatrists and med management to outpatient therapy. We do not have an inpatient unit. That's the only thing that we don't have, but we partner with the local hospitals to cover the inpatient. We have case management, just a full range, substance abuse counseling, just a full range, anything you could think, as far as mental health treatment is offered through the Swanson Center.
And someone also spun in on a live text about some of the gambling and some of the other issues that may affect us. Swanson Center is always there to help, and they're so conveniently located. A wonderful, wonderful organization. So at the event itself, which is the Epic Shopping Cart Parade coming up on the 17th of September, all kinds of great information up on Facebook, social media, up on Younger Life, up on WIMS. What are you going to be doing? Crazy dressed? Are you in the parade? What are you doing? Getting pies in the face? What?
No pies in the face, not intentionally anyway.
You know how that works.
I have a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and I was kind of running it past the 3-year-old. What does he want to do this year? And I don't know. He said dinosaurs, so we haven't
interesting.
decided. It's still in the air. But
There are a couple things I want to clarify about the event itself, a little bit more basic, just for our listeners out
absolutely.
there. So again, carts are provided. Is a registration in advance necessary, or can someone come the day on the 17th and register then?
We definitely prefer people register ahead of time so that we can know that we have enough shopping carts
Oh,
available.
fantastic
Yes, it
point.
is. Great,
Okay.
great piece.
Last year we had some extra carts, and we certainly weren't turning anybody away.
Absolutely. Can you share with us what it costs to register? Is it a team or is it individually, or
Registration is free. And then we ask that you try to raise donations that will go to help support the 10 organizations.
Okay,
So get
I
out
realize
there,
it's a
people.
fundraiser, and I
It's
want to
easy.
point out how the money is actually raised. So
Whether it's $50, $100, $1,000.
I understand. Okay,
Get out
so
there.
it's that's how you're doing it. You don't have to pay to join it. You're trying to
registration
raise.
is free, and then we just ask that you try to raise some donations to support your team.
Fantastic. Okay.
Absolutely great. Yeah, people are saying thanks for that, Mary. That's exactly what they wanted
I just
to.
wanted to. I'm trying to think of the most basic things
Mm-hmm.
about the event, because these organizations are so amazing. Like I said, it's so easy to get talking about those things, but for the specific shopping cart parade, I wanted to write down some of those things just so in case we have a call or anything, we can make sure.
It is awesome. So that's so cute. And I'm just thinking, just so you know, maybe a double dip on this one. Dinosaurs, Halloween right around the corner.
I know.
You get that costume a little bit earlier. Have
That's
someone
the way
make
to
you
do
a
it anyway.
Cool little dinosaur costume.
Yeah.
You got the cart. He's smiling. I'm liking this, Federiki. This is good. And then your 1-year-old, a little boy or a little girl, if you don't mind me asking.
Little girl.
Little girl. So what is she into? Obviously little. Is she into what's the hip thing going these days? I'm a old
Anything
dad. I have an
they
18
want
and a
at that age.
22-year-old. So
You know, she's the younger of the two, so she plays with her monster trucks
Yeah.
and
Cool.
the dinosaurs and everything.
I had girls
Dad
first.
jumps in.
I had girls first and then boys. And so my boys wouldn't hesitate to play with a kitchen set or dolls or any of that stuff, because those were the toys that were there. Of course, we have boy toys too, but those were the toys that were already.
Yeah, she has some dolls that she carries
Of
around
course.
and a little
That's
stuffed
so
puppy,
cute.
but
Oh,
she
yeah.
loves the monster trucks and the dinosaurs. And
That's very cool.
They said go for pies in the face, someone from your Swanson Center. Thank you, Ed, for chiming by. In a matter of moments, Trina from the Bike Stop's going to call us to just wrap up the show to talk about Turtle Port.
Okay.
So we're going to do that brought to
Can
you
we get a
today's
phone number
episode.
for Swanson
Please,
Center?
if you wouldn't mind.
It's the only one I didn't write down.
you know what? I don't know
website?
the main
I'll get it
number,
for
but
him.
what I'll say is my office number is 219-877-3203.
Okay.
And if you call there, we can always direct. I'm a victim of the cell phone and the
It's
contact.
too
We are.
easy,
We're
trust
all-
me.
It's that young
We're
kid
all
cry.
there. No, it's too easy. You put it in your phone and then you don't have to memorize it,
You're
until
awesome.
you break your phone or something. I've done that. And then you're in trouble.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for your time.
much.
You're wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, this is great. So we got through 5 organizations today. Got a
Fantastic.
few minutes left on Younger Life.
I know
Live.
my
told
head's
you it
spinning.
flew.
There's there's just
Absolutely
so much
great.
information and so many of these
Mm-hmm.
organizations we could honestly carry on an entire show for. They're just so important they're such an asset to our community. They really are.
Mary and I want to remind you, Epic Shopping Cart Parade, Saturday, September 17th. Catholic Charities, thanks to Ed Marion, Claudette Harrison for a hand up, Candace Silvis from the Salvation Army, Cassandra Hill from Stepping Stone, Ed Seal from the Swanson Center. Everybody did such a great job. A reminder from your family here at Younger Life Live. We are going to be a part of it. Tomorrow we'll be doing a live broadcast on our radio station partner, WIMS. For the Tour de La Porte, starting at 6 a.m. I know we're going to be out there. And then, of course, Sunday, Norm and I, along with others, will be riding.
Yes.
We signed up for the 25-mile yesterday, tourdelaporte.org.
I
Go
heard you
for
say
it.
you rode 20 yesterday.
I did
I've been
20.
on my bike twice.
20
I'm in
yesterday.
trouble.
It was awesome. I feel good. And I know that our great partners at the Bike Stop, Trina and Todd, have done a fabulous job. They're going to be out there too. So now, are you up for this? I could say we could go to every one of these organizations and do like a total
just
hour
amazing.
show on this stuff. It'd be
I mean,
great.
honestly, I'm so glad we're having another part to this on September the 9th because, again, we'll be talking about more partners involved in this specific shopping cart parade. There's just so much involved in it, honestly. And it's amazing how they all work together to help out. I love that. It's not just just this business or this business, or that helps. They work together because those services are so needed, and they cover so much ground between them all. It's amazing.
People helping people.
I love it.
Did you like it today? See, this is
I
fast
love
paced.
it.
I'm all about our Younger Life Live.
I know. And I
Thank you,
what?
LaPorte
I'm more
Hospital.
like, wait, I want to know, how long have you been?
I know. You sit here and
Tell
talk
me
to
more
everybody.
about it. Yeah.
We've got Jim from Sandcastle coming in on the 9th. Kristen from the Grace
Yep.
Learning Center. We've got some other great folks. Why don't we roll through those on the 9th? As you know.
Yeah, we have so the organizations are Sandcastle, Grace Learning Center, Keys to Hope, Housing Opportunities. Carolyn Shook will be here for that, and Gabriel's Horn I've never heard of.
Yeah,
so.
They're all great
I
organizations.
know. I've been researching
Phenomenal.
these after I got this list, and I thought, my goodness, I'm dumbfounded that there's so much help out there that I feel like it's our job to make sure people know that it's there. It's so important.
Quick reminders, I get an instant text before we wrap up another great edition of Younger Life Live. Mary Anthony and Rick Federici, thanking you for joining us and making a difference in our community. We want to remind you, tourtolaporte.org, still accepting signups. I just heard from the corporate office here. Kim Ramsey and the crew want to remind you, Maria will be out there, of course, this whole weekend. Tonight being Friday the 19th, they're going to have the spaghetti dinner. The Rotary Club's going to be out there. Cummins Lodge.
It's the trail run tonight, too.
Yes.
And that
So
one
it'd
is
be
a little bit
awesome.
more intensive. I had said, maybe my kids would love that. And, Kim, she's a doll. She's like, that one's a little more, it's a trail.
It's
literally
true
a
trail.
true trail.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
And with all the rain we've had, be prepared for that. But I think that will be a lot of fun. And that's definitely interesting.
I'm all about being muddy.
I've done a mud run.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a lot
all
of
about
fun.
that.
So,
We got the bike, running, walking. You don't have to be an athlete mentality. So just get there, right?
Oh, absolutely. I am certainly not an athlete, and I've done it numerous times. It's a lot of fun. Please get out there and do it. It's an amazing cause also,
Go to tourtolaporte.org if you can't make it there. They do have $5 squares that you could send out messages. I sent out one for my sister Jody Lynn Federici, sent out one for my buddy Jerry Salemi, for family that's going through some uniqueness right now with cancer, whether it's breast cancer or cancer in general. A lot of us are affected by it. You know what I'm saying? It's
touched somehow,
some way. So thank you, by the way, for being you.
Have a great weekend. It's going to be a very busy weekend. I'll see you this weekend a couple times. So
all right.
It'll be
and
nice.
Thank you for joining us. God bless America. God bless our veterans. On behalf of us all at Younger Life Live, thank you to our great supporting broadcast and TV sponsor, LaPorte Hospital. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony. Thanks.